should be it. Hello, hello, hello. 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 Welcome everyone to Couch Pundits Sports presents Formula One streaming. We're back. What a race this was. I am supposed to be joined by my co-host Arsh, but I don't know where he is. He is not here right now. He's not answering his phone or his messages, and just generally, I am unaware of his whereabouts. But I am here, and we're gonna discuss Silverstone. A lot happened this weekend, and we're gonna discuss a bunch of those things. We're gonna discuss Ferrari mainly and how they continue to ruin driver careers. And on that note, Sai Prashant is saying Vettel is best. Vettel is best, man. Look at what Ferrari did to him. Just look at it. They massacred him and then left his body to be eaten by Aston Martin. It's quite sad the way they went about it. They did it to Alonso. They did it to Massa. They did it to Barrichello. It's really only Schumacher that made Ferrari seem like a real team. And it's not even a real team. They just have a fast car, but their engineers are so bad in terms of race strategy and stuff, I think they have an inability to perform under pressure. Like, they seriously lack it. So they end up messing up a lot. We've seen that over the last 1, 2, 3, 4, the whole season this time. I mean, everyone remembers what they used to do to Vettel in recent memory. The way they used to treat Rubens Barrichello with Michael Schumacher and stuff like that. So Ferrari has had a history of doing this, but especially this season with Leclerc and Sainz and how frustrated Leclerc is with these people, it's quite sad. Sushant, where is Kushpi Mehta? Did he leave the channel? No, he has not left the channel. He is just like getting married and stuff, man. He's too busy. I keep telling him, let's do a cricket stream. He's like, yeah, let's do a cricket stream. And then he doesn't does it. So yeah. While we wait for Arsh, let's talk about some of the other stuff that happened at Silverstone. Hamilton had a nearly almost perfect fairy tale, and then he had a nearly almost perfect fairy tale taken away from him completely, and then they gave it back to him a little bit with the podium finish. P3 for Lewis Hamilton at Silverstone. My favorite moment of the weekend was Roscoe Cam. I thought that was quite amazing. Cricket stream, yeah, bro. Cricket stream. There's a cricket match happening in like 40 minutes. It's gonna start. India is up. You know what? I can just talk about cricket. It's not like anyone cares. Am I right? Sushant, you're here. Let's talk cricket for 5 minutes. It was disappointing what happened in the test match. Yes. It should not have happened. Ideally, India were expected to win this match, but after this whole baseball thing that England has started, which is just, it relates back to that thought that all of us had as, when we were kids. कि अगर वनडे में इतना मारते हैं तो टेस्ट मैच में क्यों नहीं मारते when the fields are so much more open and the fielders are so much closer? Why don't people just start coming out and whacking it? Because in one day the fields are spread, there are fielders on the boundaries, saving boundaries, there are more attacking fields in the sense of stopping singles, putting pressure on the batters. So why don't people just keep picking gaps in test matches and playing it like a limited overs game? And guess what? England are doing that. Like, the whole team is doing that. England have figured out that batting is way more dominant over bowling with the current rules. in all formats in terms of what the bowlers are allowed to do and what the batters are allowed to do. Batters can go into any position to hit the ball, whereas bowlers can have to follow this strict, इतना बेंड नहीं हो सकता है, इतना सा ज्यादा. बैटर तू कुछ भी ऐसा वैसा कुछ भी कर ले, तू मार ले, बस मारना है तुझे. बॉलर के साथ स्ट्रिक्ट है. तो मतलब द गेम इज डिजाइंड for batters, and England seem to have figured that out, and they're exploiting that every opportunity, every chance they get. So good on them, yeah. Good on them. Really. Baseball theory is really good, and the aggressive approach is definitely wins you 8 out of 10 games. Yeah, 8 out of 10 is an amazing percentage. 8 out of 10. I don't think anybody has an 8 out of 10 winning percentage in Test match cricket history. Like none of the teams that are playing currently. So if you can get 8 out of 10 over the next 5, 6, 3, 4 years, they're going to win multiple World Test Championship titles. Not this one, because they're nearly almost out of it. But next one, if they continue playing in this way, the next cycle, if they can sustain it, if bowlers don't find a way around it, then yeah, they're World Test champions. Unless other teams start playing like that. Then you'll have test matches getting over in 2.5, 3 days. And then everyone will be like, whoa, ये तो हमने बोला था. फिर 4-day test हो जाएगा. और फिर विराट कोहली छोड़ देगा टेस्ट मैच खेलना, क्योंकि वो बोलेगा ये टेस्ट मैच नहीं है, ये तुम लोग कुछ भी कर रहे हो अभी. Mr. Pink, hi stand-up comic. No, man, I'm not a stand-up comic. I am a lawyer. I do this because I enjoy talking sport and with like-minded people, and that's what you guys are. So if you all are here and you like sports, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Yes, we've been quite slow over the last 3-4 months, but that's owing to the fact that I have begun full-time work again post-pandemic, and it gets really difficult, especially when making content is not your first calling, and things like that. And your co-hosts just do not show up as they promised that they would. Do I work at Vadya Gandhi? No, I do not. I don't know why you asked me such a specific question. It seems like you work there. Do you work there? It's not reckless batting. England bats sensibly and take chances when available. Pujara, we are here. Poor batter of India want to play aggressive cricket. No. You need that. It's not like Pujara and Vihari cannot bat aggressively. It's just that they put a higher price on their wicket and they play test match with the intention that I have 5 days to do this. Right. So why should I go out and attack every ball? I'll just wait till the bowler bowls a bad ball and I'll attack that. What ends up happening is I just feel like I'm explaining the theory of test cricket, but I'll do it anyway. It's just that after about for every 1 bad ball you get, you're going to get 4 good balls. And 1 will be whatever. So there's a higher probability that you make a mistake on the good balls. What this baseball approach seems to be trying to do is force the bowlers off their lines and lengths by attacking them constantly. So if you see the way the Indian bowlers bowled in the 4th innings, it was quite ordinary. They were not on the hitting the top of off line. They were not in the corridor of uncertainty. They were just wherever they wanted to be. They were in fact bowling exactly where England wanted them to bowl, and which was on their pads. A lot of times, so many boundary balls. And when they didn't bowl on their pads, they just bowled outside off, and these guys would take them. Yes. These guys would just take them apart on the offside. So there was a lot of confusion. Seamers gave away way too many runs, and we didn't have Ashwin once again. Every time we lose the match while defending a total in the 4th innings and Ashwin is not there, people are like, Ashwin hota to ye nahi hota. अरे यार 3rd innings में थोड़ा और रन मार दिया होता तुम लोग ने. कितना था? 132 रन का लीड दिया तुमको 1st innings में. To lose that lead, 7 wickets I think that's enough of a rant for the Birmingham game. I want to talk about something else that happened in England, and that is the Silver. Okay, you want to go out? Just give me a second, guys. I'll just send her out. And yes. Okay, you're saying Ashwin has poor record in Sena and he bowled poorly in South Africa this year. Yes, but he is the world's top off-spin bowler. Do you ever see Australia dropping Nathan Lyon? You see how much they hype him up, even though he's not that good. Like, he's great. Like, he's amazing. But he's nowhere near Ashwin. He's just not there. But every time they're like, Australia, like, oh, world's best spinner, GOAT, and this and that. And this is, it's just no. India keeps dropping Ashwin. For who? Shardul Thakur? No. Shardul Thakur? That guy? I don't know, man. It should not have been Shardul Thakur. At least not in this game. But it was. And it wasn't Ashwin. And that made me sad. It did make me really, really sad. But yeah, let's talk about Silverstone. Let's talk about what happened. Let's... again, you're baiting me with these cricket questions. Nathan Lyon is greater than Ashwin. What are you smoking? That's what you need to tell me. Nathan Lyon is greater than Ashwin. Just pull out numbers and you will see that that's not true. And you know what? Even better, face both of them and then decide for yourself. Yeah. Why don't you do that? Okay, back to Formula One. There was a lot that happened this weekend. Latifi was in Q3, which was amazing. Also, it had a lot to do with the rainy conditions and some people not being able to complete their laps, some weirdly placed yellow flags and stuff like that. Crashes, one of the worst crashes I've seen live in Formula One history. Zhou Guan Yu, unfortunate that he crashed out. Really, really fortunate that he came out of that nearly almost unharmed. Obviously, it goes to show how much investment successfully Formula One and the FIA has been putting into driver safety, and how I'm quite happy that it's worked. The halo and all the other things that are, part of driver safety has worked. It's done its job. It will continue to be improved. That is exactly what they're going to do. They're going to take learnings from this and they're going to make it better. And this is why they're excellent. Even the things that work for them, they're like, okay, this is great. This worked, but how do we make it better? And that's what they're going to try and do. So I only see driver safety standards going higher every day. And that's a great thing. What else happened during that crash was Alex Albon getting hurt pretty bad because he just got hit and like flung around with 15 other cars. Went to the hospital, came out fine. So good for him as well. George Russell, though, because he's a good guy, he got out of his car to help Joe. And that ultimately meant that he could not restart his car and he had to get mechanical assistance to bring the car back to the pit lane after the red flag. So he could not restart the race, even though according to him, it was on, like, he only had a puncture. So he could have restarted the race, but he didn't. So yeah. How did the crash happen? Yeah, they got it on video. There are like 100 videos about this now. Basically, Latifi starting P10. I don't know. Ocon? Who was it? Joe got a good start. Russell didn't get a good start. Latifi tried to get in. or was it Ocon or Gasly? One of them tried to get in, hit Russell from behind. And Russell ended up hitting Joe, and that's how the crash happened. Yeah, that's essentially how it happened. It's quite bad. It's quite horrifying. Very scary. Because for the longest time, they were not showing it live. They were not talking about Joe other than saying, we will get you updates, we will get you updates. So for that, everyone was very scared, and I was personally also very scared and concerned. But luckily, it came out okay, so it's all good. Is Russell penalized for the crash? No, he is not penalized for the crash because it was not his fault. In fact, it wasn't anybody's fault. It was just one of those things that happens when you put 20 cars on that small a space, all capable of going 0 to 100 before you can say 0 to 100. So, yeah, won't be penalized. But his streak of finishing all races and finishing them P5 this year has ended, P5 or above. But yeah, overall, just happy that nobody got seriously hurt in this whole shebang. And we can only hope that driver safety gets better from here on out. Let's talk about some other things. We will address the whole Leclerc and Sainz issue in a bit. I want to talk about Max Verstappen. Shishant has been really asking me to speak about this, so I will. Max Verstappen drove with a debris, piece of debris, which was the size of my arm, stuck in his car. It was stuck in his car. I think 12th lap or something. 10th lap, he overtook Sainz. And in the 12th lap, Sainz overtook him again. And Verstappen was complaining about a puncture, came into the pits, changed his tires, went out again, did not have a puncture, was losing a lot of performance, no speed. And yeah, basically he had a massive ass piece of the Alpha Tauri. As Shishant puts it, Alpha Tauri backstabbed him. So yeah, not a good race for him. Luckily for him, Leclerc didn't win the race, which if he would have, the driver championship thing would have reduced by 25 points. Yeah, that's just Arsh messaging me saying, sorry. I don't understand this. What does this sorry mean? I don't understand it. He should have been here 25 minutes ago, but he wasn't. We set this time for his convenience also, but he ain't here. Yeah. How many chances is it still for Lewis to win the championship? So there were a lot of upgrades that a lot of cars brought at Silverstone, including Mercedes. And it showed porpoising was reduced, pace was higher. It's really as far as constructors goes, Mercedes are still in the race. Drivers' Championship, it's tough for Lewis, man. There's an 88 point to Verstappen, and Red Bull are quicker than him. Red Bull are quicker than Ferrari. So there's really no, unless Red Bull and Ferrari really mess up, and I'll talk about something that could affect that whole scene, which is the floor. There has been a new discovery after they started testing stuff for the porpoising. They realized that Red Bull and Ferrari have been doing this thing where their floor is flexing more than 2 millimeter, which is the permitted flex for their floor, the plank which they put on the floor of their car. Essentially what they've done is they've taken this car and they're supposed to put two supports on the plank, one at the beginning, one at the end. But what these two cars have done is they've put both at the beginning, the supports. What ends up happening is the plank is really supported from the front, but from the back of the car, it can flex a little more, helps with aerodynamics, helps with downforce. And the result is it is flexing more than 2 millimeters. And Christian Horner is saying that there is no such regulation which talks about 2 millimeters, even though there is, but he's trying to interpret it differently by saying you have to go behind the intent of the regulation and not just the letter. So in law also we have this thing that the law should be applied in letter and in spirit. You know, you can't just limiting it to what the Formula One regulations say. What I'm trying to say is you can't just be like, ye likha hai to aisa hi karo. The whole intention of the regulation was to make sure that 2 mm से ज्यादा flex na ho. So if that is taken up and that becomes a thing and Red Bull and Ferrari end up losing performance because of it, that could really hamper their season going forward. And with the budget caps this year, anything could happen. Anything could happen out of this. So yeah, remains to be seen. It's still a long way off the end of the season, so I'm not going to make any predictions right now because it is a 3-horse race as far as the championship for constructors is concerned. Drivers' championship is anybody's game. I think between Verstappen, Leclerc, Perez also. So yeah, moving on. Aston Martin, whatever. Mick Schumacher though. Mick Schumacher gets points this season. Mick Schumacher gets points for the first time in his life. And kahin pe to Nikita Mazepin is sitting and crying. Kahin pe to. I don't know where. I don't know why. I mean, I know why. And I don't want to find out how, but he is crying. So, yeah. But how good does it feel to see Mick Schumacher in points? Personally, it feels great. Like, he's gotten so close recently, and to get 8 points, 3 points for 8th position. But what he did against Verstappen in those final laps, how he tried to overtake him, was like, wow. Ekdam maza hi aa gaya. To see Mick fighting Max. It could be a thing in the future. Mick is fairly young, so is Max. So, you know, if Mick gets a better car, anything is possible. Anything is possible. So, yeah. Let's see what happens. What else happened? Yeah, let's talk about Ferrari's strategy now. So, Ferrari had several decision points through this race where they had to take strategy calls. Okay. And they took some strategy calls which were good, some which were not so good, which cost them maximum points. And we're going to break down each of these strategy calls one by one. Firstly, Sainz was ahead of Leclerc, leading the race after the first restart or the second start of the race. Sainz was ahead of Leclerc, leading the race after a point. But Leclerc said, I am faster than him, so let me through. They didn't let him through because they were like, we have the whole race. We'll do it. Good decision. Then, obviously, Verstappen overtook Sainz. Sainz took the position back. Leclerc also took the position back. Whatever, Verstappen was out of the race. Hamilton was really pushing them. So they decided to go with pit strategy, got new tires on for Leclerc first, then got new tires on for Sainz. Somehow, Sainz was still ahead of Leclerc, but he had been given a target time. With Hamilton pushing, with the undercut. Or was it the overcut? I think it was the overcut. They needed to make sure that Sainz and Leclerc switched positions, which they did. Again, good move. What was their worst move, and what Binotto has still not been able to explain satisfactorily, was when Ocon parked his car in the 39th lap, which led to the safety car, which was going to be in place for about a few laps after that. Why did they not pit Leclerc, who was leading the race at that point? They could have easily pitted him. They could have brought him on softs, but they left him out to dry. And everybody else behind him got onto the softs. And ultimately, it led to bad things for Leclerc because he was left fighting all of these guys who were on fresh soft tires with his old hard tires. He did not stand a chance, but he still gave quite a fight to Perez and Hamilton. And what happened in those last few laps was probably the best racing entertainment I have seen since I can remember. It's been so good, and I guess that's really what matters, right? Like after so many years of seeing dominance of two teams and just one man, it's finally happening. What the new regulations set out to achieve seems to have been achieved. Racing is happening, and not just train में चलते थे नहीं तो पहले तो लोग. And somebody has joined us. Frankly, I'm not sure why, but he seems to be here, and now we have to listen to his annoying ass voice. Welcome, Arsh.
Hi, I'm so sorry. I'm late. As you can
Rejected.
see, that's okay. I'll get you something nice from here. You'll be fine.
And that's the end of our stream, guys. Good night.
No. How's it going? I'm really sorry. It's okay. One you got, one I got. Thoda delay. Yesterday's stream was supposed to happen. It didn't happen. Today's stream, I was up perfectly for both the other streams. Like, I was up and ready.
Yahi bolte
just the day we were supposed to stream.
That's what happens. It's like you study for 7 hours and your parents don't even look at you. And that 3 seconds where you're like you're watching porn or something on your laptop, and your parents are like, "Whoa, what are you doing, bro?" I'm studying.
Yeah, studying, but just taking a tension break.
Yeah, break the tension.
But anyway, sorry, where were we? Or what were you discussing?
We were not discussing anything. I was talking.
That's why I changed this statement.
And then I was talking about how Ferrari have messed up career after career after career. And I was discussing all the strategies that they could have done through the race, and how they did well in some points, and how they really, really messed up when it came to the safety car and not pitting Leclerc. What are your thoughts on that?
They had quite a few strategies to play with. Had the car switch been done earlier, I feel they would have probably pit Leclerc had it been done a bit earlier. But I think because it was done so late, Leclerc was not able to kind of get enough gap between Sainz and Leclerc for them to double stack.
So there. Okay, somebody, not me, has done this mathematics. There was a gap of 4.7 seconds before the safety car between Sainz and Leclerc.
Okay.
Between Leclerc and Sainz in that order. So even if they were doing it in normal racing green flag conditions, 4.7 seconds, difficult but doable. Because of the safety car, that gap would have increased to about 11 seconds.
Correct.
Okay. Sorry, not 11, 9 seconds. It would have increased to 9 seconds.
Yeah.
The only thing that would have happened is, if they had pitted Leclerc at that point, is they would have risked Hamilton not pitting and going ahead on hard tires for the safety car restart, and they would have lost track position to only Lewis. Perez to बहुत पीछे था, 19 second पीछे था, so there was no chance that Perez was catching up with them. So they would have lost track position to Lewis, but they would have been on fresher softs. And I just don't think that they believed in their driver's skill.
But also, if you look at it, Silverstone's pit entry as compared to the rest is a lot different in two ways. Silverstone's pit entry is a lot longer, so you lose out on quite an amount of time. And Silverstone is one of the only few pit entries that has a pit limit of 60 kilometers as compared to the rest that have 80 kilometers. So you're losing out on quite a few amount, like quite a significant amount of time.
फिर भी 19 सेकंड जाता है पिट स्टॉप में.
नहीं, उससे ज्यादा जाएगा.
Average time lost
जाएगा. Average time lost is 20 seconds across pit stops. But I think in that position, you lose more than 20 seconds.
Right.
You lose more than 20 seconds because it's a longer pit straight. No. In general, I'm saying. I'm talking about the pit lane right now. My safety car pe aaye nahi. But now in this situation, I think what Ferrari strategies and strategists were thinking were that had we pit Leclerc, Lewis, Perez, Verstappen would end up staying out, and you would end up losing 3 positions. Sainz would end up staying out, and you would end up losing 3 positions anyway. You also had Hamilton attacking you, had Perez attacking you, you had Norris attacking you, you had quite an amount of pressure from the back. Your 2 Ferraris were anyways there, but attacking the 2 Ferraris were 3 different teams. So you're not only losing out on crucial points in the drivers, but even constructors, you're losing out on quite an amount of points. So see, defending Ferrari, the only reason I'm defending Ferraris right now is because hindsight is a beautiful thing. And I've said this before.
That's true. Hindsight, and they should have just played Ravi Ashwin. I still don't understand why they picked Shardul Thakur.
All round. But hindsight is a beautiful thing. So if you're thinking about it in hindsight, yeah, they should have pit Leclerc. But you're talking about decisions made under 2 seconds.
Yeah, made so that's where my
high pressure situations.
Ferrari is.
Made in high pressure situations. Yeah.
They literally crumble in high pressure situations.
So that's the thing with them.
And
I think Sainz made a good decision by saying, listen, please don't invent.
Oh, dude, that was like an alpha move. And how? Like stop inventing. There is this man who is called Lewis Hamilton who is behind me. Okay, guys. तो मतलब मैं ऐसा किया ना तो मेरे को खा जाएगा.
I was 7-time world champion on my ass right now.
और like उसको पीछे रख. हाँ, मेरे को भी पीछे ही रखना है उसको, लेकिन आगे जाके पीछे रह के नहीं.
उसको 10 कार लैंड दे. वो पागल है. चमान.
Stop inventing. But I don't think. See, the thing is, we are looking
Sebastian
at it as,
quite Sebastian for me, because even 2 years ago, Sebastian was told something on the radio. He's like, no, I'm not going to do that. But here's your job. You have to make sure that these guys are doing this amount of time, and you have to make sure that I'm hitting this amount of time. This is what your job is, and my job is going to be hitting that time. He's just sitting in the car and giving instructions.
I feel like if you want to be a driver at Ferrari, you have to literally say to the engineers, look at me, I am the captain now. As the thumbnail of our stream would suggest.
Yeah.
Because you cannot leave it to these guys. ये लोग मतलब अर्श तू उससे ज्यादा अच्छा strategy कर लेगा बिना कुछ पढ़ाई किए.
There was a meme on Twitter going around. Someone had actually sent an email saying, dear Ferrari, title, lead race strategist. I know I might not be qualified, but I'm pretty sure I can do a much better job for a lower pay. Please hire me.
Why lower pay? Why do you want to take a pay cut?
If you're working for Ferrari, you'd rather take a pay cut and invest in better team. Sorry.
Yeah. I spoke about how Mick Schumacher got points. How did you feel about that?
That was so nice, dude. I think Verstappen could have been a little easy on him.
क्या गांडू आदमी है यार, वो मार देता वो बच्चे को.
Like bro, chill. तू ये अपने पहले पॉइंट्स के लिए लड़ रहा है जिंदगी में. तू ऑलरेडी एक चैंपियनशिप जीत चुका है. थोड़ा काम डाउन कर.
फिर भी मैं उसका रेस खत्म कर देगा. I don't care. So this is why I don't like Max Verstappen.
But बेचारा had a बेचारा fucked up, yeah. His dad also fucked up. His father-in-law also fucked up. He's like, करूँ तो क्या करूँ?
Wait, what did his dad do?
So his dad recently said in an interview, I never told him he's going to be world champion. I always told him he's going to be a bus driver or a truck driver.
What the hell does that mean?
बाप में बच्चे में भरोसा नहीं है. उसके गर्लफ्रेंड के बाप में दुनिया में भरोसा नहीं है. He's like, करूँ तो करूँ क्या?
That's true. Hello, Shetty. Welcome back to the channel. It's been a while.
Hey, Shetty, long time.
Yes, you are very, very late. We are actually towards the end of the stream.
Yeah, actually, I'm sorry. थोड़ा time difference है यहाँ पे यार.
That's cool. Thoughts on the crash, Harsh? Joe Guan Yu?
Halo, fuck the world. Halo, fuck the world. I think Halo is a great save, and for people that still doubt the Halo, for people that are watching and who might not know, Halo was actually opposed by 9 out of the 10 teams when it was proposed back in 2016. So the Halo was, then there were a lot of variations of the Halo that were tested during free practice, and the one that we see today are after a lot of modifications and a lot of changes to the Halo. The original Halo that was supposed to be there was actually very similar to the one that we see in IndyCar today. The Halo that you would see is actually a Halo screen, as they call it. The Halo screen was tested out in 2016 or 2015 on Daniel Ricciardo's Red Bull in one of the free practices. And then they realized that no, ये थोड़ा dangerous हो सकता है, because of the way the cars flip, वो Halo shards of glass is very possible of coming. It becomes very hot inside. So that's why उन्होंने screen निकाल के पूरा top निकाल के ये Halo बनाया. And I think Halo that it can hold up to 2800 tons ऐसे कुछ था, both of impact. तो जब मैं research कर रहा था, not only this time I was researching about the Halo when the Halo was introduced. 3 साल पहले की research के बारे में बात कर रहा हूँ. तो that clearly shows it's good, yeah. देख किसी की गलती नहीं थी.
That's what. It was really nobody's fault. It was really nobody's fault. And one crashed to the other, and then correct. Suddenly Joe was in the barriers.
Especially race start में तो होता ही है, where you're competing for position and Gasly got squashed by the
Gasly, correct.
Yeah, Albon on the side, Russell on the left. No, Latifi went on to complete the race. No. Albon didn't complete. Albon was on the right, Gasly in the center.
Albon got hit from the back.
Correct. Russell on the left. Both were converting into one. Gasly बेचारा बीच में फंस गया. He tried to brake, couldn't brake in time. Hit Gasly, hit Albon, hit Russell, hit Joe. Both of them off.
What do you expect in terms of?
Let's talk about McLaren.
We will get to McLaren, but there's something that I want to ask you about. Of course you will. What do you expect will happen? I don't know if you've been following this, but Red Bull and Ferrari have been given a mandate कि तुम लोग का जो plank है वो 2 mm से ज़्यादा अभी bend हो रहा है, तो कुछ करो उसका.
उनका floor.
Floor plank.
I think they are all FIA, Red Bull, Ferrari. They're all going towards the same goal, yaar. Safety in F1. Okay. FIA is right now saying, सुन, वो तेरा ये बहुत ज़्यादा हो रहा है, porpoising, very big issue. We cannot give basically a croissant to our drivers after every race. हमारा budget नहीं है. They have to deal with the headache. And if Ferrari and Mercedes are like, if they die, they die. Like that's the idea. So I think everyone's okay in their own situation. Yaar. Like Ferrari and Red Bull are obviously fighting for the championship at the end of the day. They're looking ways to increase speed, not only straight line but even cornering. And FI on the other hand are not going to make a comment for Mercedes fans, but FI on the other hand are just like, bro, देख ये Halo अभी हुआ है ना, trust us when we say we need total safety. It's fine. Yeah, let's see. This is normal cat drama that's going on during the season. That goes on.
Fair. Let's talk about McLaren.
Yes, please. I'm not defending DR. I am just going to talk about Lando.
मेरे को तो अभी कोई आर्टिकल पढ़ा मैंने कि डीआर को मार्चिंग ऑर्डर्स दे दिया है और 2-3 हफ्ते में अनाउंस करेंगे.
Mr. PS3?
हाँ?
Who will be his teammate? Jayan Deruvilla.
पागल क्या है होने वाला है. लगता है the most popular driver in the world right now is going to get replaced
by an Indian. Hello, please help me. I'm under the water.
Bolna, what did you think about
McLaren?
Yeah,
I enjoyed the weekend. Yeah, they showed some pretty good pace.
Right.
Throughout the weekend. Qualifying was not as good as as people expected. But it's coming here. It's the race pace is there, and I said this after every race that they've scored points. They are scoring points in fast corner races.
Right.
Bahrain mein kiya, Saudi mein kiya, yahan kiya. They're scoring points in fast corner races, and I think the upgrades that were so rumored and revered to come out in Silverstone was evident.
Yeah, that's true.
The updates not only for McLaren but for other cars as well.
All of them brought some of the other.
Everyone bought. I mean, Mercedes was fighting for the win at one point. Like, come on. You've got Haas double points. Clearly, something's working for them. You've got Williams qualifying. Not only a Williams, you got Mr. Latifi qualifying P10. There's something or the other that all the cars brought. If not huge up, they got two updates for sure.
Maybe we should do a video about all the upgrades. Consider it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think the rest of the race it was nice. Silverstone was back, but these are really the highlights. And this is the kind of format that we're looking to follow, where we're not going to like really break down the races. We're going to talk about the highlights. Because technical breakdown के लिए अर्श तो है, लेकिन मुझे ये सब समझ में नहीं आता. मेरे को
We'll need Jolly and Palmer.
तो ये क्या बोलता है?
We'll need Jolly and Palmer or Ted Kravitz.
Yeah, did he cover Ferrari? यार मेरी Ferrari पड़ी है. उस पे मैंने नहीं लगाया. बारिश हो रही है, uncovered है.
तू एक काम कर, तू Ferrari पे सवारी ले जा. I think Charles बोल रहा है.
Disgusting joke.
I think Charles ही बोल रहा है, bro, मैं Ferrari की सवारी नहीं कर सकता.
कोई नहीं करना चाहता. और I am just going to address this once again. To be a successful driver in Ferrari, you have to be an ass. You got to be an ass who throws his weight around. The last successful driver at Ferrari, we all know who it was.
Michael Schumacher.
And what was he?
An asshole.
Hence,
no offense, keep fighting, Michael. Love you. But you have to admit.
And his team.
Like one example is the 1999 championship. Not 99 championship. What year was he racing against Jack Villeneuve for the championship? 97. Jo bhi hai, last race of the season. Like the stage was set for people that don't know the story.
उसने घुसा दिया था ना गाड़ी बाजू.
Correct. The stage was set.
वो Mansell था कि Damon Hill
था? No, it was Jack Villeneuve because he was fighting Jack Villeneuve for the championship.
अच्छा.
Damon Hill. It could be Damon. No, it was not Damon Hill. It was definitely Jack Villeneuve. 100%. It was a French driver. 100%. So, for people that don't know the story, the stage was set. Same thing like last year. Both championship contenders going on level points in Australia. Last race of the season. And all both of them had to do to win the championship was finish ahead of each other. Schumacher towards the ending of the race goes in, dive bombs fucking Villeneuve on the hairpin, hits, and he's got enough space. He hits, turns left instead of turning right. Hits Villeneuve, and his car's out Schumacher's, but Villeneuve is like, you hit the wrong side of me. And very famously on the radio, was Charlie? No, Charlie Whiting, not Charlie Whiting. Charlie Whiting was the FIA race director. Yeah. It was this guy who passed away. Murphy. Murray. Forgetting his full name. But anyway, he was the commentator and he very famously said, Michael, you hit the wrong side of him. Very famous. If you just Google and say, Michael, you hit the wrong side of him, you'll find a bunch of memes and videos. Dekhna, it's a great highlight. And it kind of sums up Schumacher's entire fucking era. Like, वो बहुत किया है. He won his first championship this way, yeah, in 94. So, but yeah, shoot me.
So, like I was saying, to succeed at Ferrari, you gotta be an ass. You gotta do what you gotta do. Throw your weight around. Do not listen to the team engineers in reverse order.
Did you guys even talk about Perez?
Look, I don't address Red Bull.
Okay. What a beast of a drive.
But Sergio Perez, thank you for bringing that up. मतलब हक से वापस लिया उसने. और तू
same thing like Sakir last year.
If Red Bull do not mess around with this, Perez is more of a championship contender than Verstappen, or if not as much. Yeah. If not more, he is at least as much of a championship contender than Verstappen. But they're going to fuck it up because they'll give preference.
That's what Jos Verstappen gets pissed about, right? How can you give preference to the second driver? I mean, Shraman, he's leading the race. You've never won a race in your life. Shut up.
Okay.
Oh, dude. But yeah, hey, what a drive by Jacko. Something very similar to that we saw in Sakir in 2020. 20th on the grid to P1 finish. 19th on the grid to P2.
Great tire management, great drive. I think he was also driver of the day.
Yeah,
but that is bringing us towards the end of our stream. Thank you so much, everyone, all those who joined in, commented, liked the stream and all of that, for driving up the engagement. Arsh, thank you for waking up and joining us.
Sorry, people. I know
there's
my
going
fault
to be some
also.
teething issues while you get adjusted to the timings. But we'll try to be better next week, guys. And next week we will try and have a guest on as well. Arsh's homework for this weekend is to identify the guest, contact the guest, and convince the guest.
Look, I have a name in mind. I just got to message the dude. He'll be on.
Yeah, so Arsh is going to do that. And we will be back after Austria, which is happening this weekend. There's a lot to talk about.
There's a sprint race coming up this weekend, guys. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. We will be coming back after that race to break it all down with our highlights. And yeah, that's going to be quite fun. So thank you, all of you. Thank you to the moderators. Shrishti, you. I'm looking at you. Predictions नहीं करने का. अभी Mercury retrograde में है. तू मत कर prediction. सब prediction उल्टा पड़ेगा.
नहीं bro, चलेगा. मैं ये believe ही नहीं करता. यहाँ पे basically बहुत धूप है.
तो तू कर ले तेरा prediction कि सबसे ज्यादा popsicle कौन खाएगा during Austria? First question.
सबसे ज्यादा popsicle, I think Mr. Lando Norris.
Okay. Who is going to consume the maximum amount of museum?
I think I see Sebastian Vettel do that for some reason.
But वो क्यों जाएगा? वो जर्मन है. ऑस्ट्रियन म्यूजियम में क्यों जाएगा वो इतना? बाजू में
अच्छा, है. मैं उतना सोचा नहीं. एक बहुत
Who do you think is going to walk the most?
Not Lewis Hamilton. It's going to be.
He does a track walk, no?
Yeah, on a scooty.
Acha, he doesn't walk.
As that scooty. Mercedes guy electric. He stands on that and he does the track walk. I think the most person that will walk the track would be one of the fitter guys and one of the more active guys, like probably, Gasly or like a Ricardo. Okay, not younger, but...
And just before we go, who do you think is going to finish top 3 in that race?
Oh yeah. So we have to really predict that. Mercury's in retrograde. Kya pata? Kidding.
On that note, thank you so much. We did predictions. The other predictions, if you want, come join us on our Instagram channel, on our Discord server, and all the other places where we are at, because this is as far as we can take it with the stream. So thank you so much to everyone. Thank you, Arsh. Thank you, Shetty. Once again, bye-bye. And yeah, all that.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.